Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for this week's reading. I'm working with the Psychic Tarot. As always, these readings are general readings, so they may or may not resonate with you. With that being said, let's get right into it. Okay. So what does Spirit want to bring through for this week? Sticking out. 3 cards, please. Okay, I have another one and third one. All right. So the first card is Stand Your Ground. Okay. This is the 7 of Wands, and what I'm getting right away as I look at this card is take a stance, and take a stance for yourself. Like, stand up for whatever it is that you do not want to allow in your life. Stand up for yourself. Voice out whatever it is that you do not want to continue in your life. What else is coming through with this card? I'm hearing enough is enough. Enough is enough. For some of you, you guys have to actually vocally say this to someone. Enough is enough. Maybe someone's crossing boundaries with you. Maybe someone's putting you in a position where you have to compromise on your self-esteem, or you have to compromise on your beliefs. So this card is saying you need to stand up for what you believe is true. Okay? And one of the spiritual lessons in life is to stand up for yourself. Okay? Because like many empaths, like, we are givers and we give a lot of ourselves, and we give off our energy, and we love that. And sometimes people pleasing is what comes naturally to us. Like, we love to make everyone happy around us, but there's a time to say yes, there's a time to say no. There are boundaries. You must know, like, where the other person begins, where you end, and all those things. It's quite a balancing act. I'll tell you that. It's quite a balancing act. Like, how do you say no nicely? How do you set your boundaries? And where is that line? Where do you draw that line? So this week, I feel this is a strong message that's coming through. And this is, for some, if you're at the edge and you're thinking you're in a situation where, should I do this or should I not? Or should I compromise myself? This card is just saying that you have to honor yourself. You have to make your self-respect a priority, and you have to set healthy boundaries. And maybe you have to say no to some people, or no to certain situations where you feel drained, or you feel that maybe people are using you or taking advantage of you, or maybe it's your boss you need to speak up to, or maybe a co-worker, or it could be a family member that is triggering a lot in you, and you have to take a stance, and you have to stand up for yourself, and you have to speak your truth. Because right next to that we have the throat chakra. Now, the throat chakra, whenever this chakra comes up, it's a very sensitive topic for a lot of us, especially if you're empaths. Some of us, if you're healers or you're psychic and stuff like that, you may have had past lives where you were persecuted for speaking your truth. So that can trigger a lot. I know for myself, learning how to activate my throat chakra, learning how to express my truth was something. Even this, standing up for myself and expressing my truth, has been an important life lesson for me. So I know in some ways this reading also applies to me. And this throat chakra has been coming up so strongly. Many of us, we're guided to express our truth. We're guided to step into our truths. And what I've been getting from my guides is aligning our hearts with our throat chakra, so that we come from a space of love and kindness when we are expressing our truth. Okay? So let's move along with this reading. Since this was a third 3-card reading, we have Temptation, which is the devil card in a traditional tarot. Now, right off the bat, as I'm looking at this card, what I'm getting is there are certain situations that are going to trap you. Okay, look at how he's trying to reach for the key, but it's almost like he's been gripped by this dark forces, by these dark energies. And what I'm getting is certain situations are like vortexes that are going to just drag you down. Okay, certain addictions, certain behaviors, certain patterns that are just going to keep you stuck. And when I say vortex, what I mean is once you're in it, you may not even realize it, but it just pulls you. Look how this dark energy is pulling this man down. Even though he wants to reach for the key, he's finding it quite a challenge. So this is like, you could be dealing with a toxic individual. If you're dealing with an individual, this card is just telling you beware, because you could be dealing with someone who's very toxic for you, and you may have to speak your truth with that person. You may have to stand your ground. You have to protect yourself, protect your energy. For some, this could be a toxic environment that you're working in, and again, with the throat chakra, you have to express your truth. You have to maybe tell some people that this is not for me, this is not going to work out, or whatever it is that you have been holding back. But definitely this energy of making yourself a priority. And the reason I'm saying that is because this is quite a heavy energy. This is quite a heavy energy, because once you're in it, it's like it just sucks you in. Let me see if there's anything else that's coming through. Okay, for many of you, I'm also getting that maybe in your childhood, maybe in the past, for some it's the childhood, for some it's the past, you've always given into certain situations even when you knew that those were not for your highest and best. You made certain choices that even though you knew they were not for your highest and best, either you felt overpowered by those individuals, or you felt like they were so strong and they were pushing you down, or you couldn't express your truth, and that may have been always a challenge for you. Expressing your truth may have been an area that has been challenging. But now, in the current situation, your guidance is to not allow anything that where you have to compromise your self-respect, where you have to compromise your health, your sanity, your peace of mind. So, learning how to stand up for yourself, learning how to speak your truth, learning how to not be a doormat is also an important soul lesson. Many people think that if you're humble, you're weak, but that's not true. You can be humble, you can be kind, you can be loving. At the same time, you can be very assertive, and you can assert your thoughts, you can assert your intention, and you can clearly tell people that I will not participate, I will not be a part of certain events, or certain groups, or certain in certain relationships, or whatever this is for you. You can still assert yourself in a kind, in a loving way, and not allow yourself to be compromised, not allow your self-respect, your peace of mind, or not allow anyone to treat you less than. And know that you are worthy. Know that you are worthy. So there could be some lessons coming up this week when it comes to setting boundaries, when it comes to understanding what's good for you and what's not good for you. Prioritizing yourself, honoring yourself, being attentive as to what or who drains your energy and what uplifts you. Making choices that serve you better. And then with the throat chakra, voicing your truth. Okay? So I hope you guys have enjoyed this reading. I will see you next week. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.